All right, so benchmark. We started reading our story yesterday, Tom's Secret. Can anybody give me just a short summary of what we read so far?
Tom said that since Tom and Huck went on an adventure to try and get the money that a thief stole, Tom wanted it to be a dream, and he thought it was a dream until Huck told him it wasn't a dream.
Perfect. Yep. He's like, nope, that really happened, right? Our dialect here, tain't a dream. Tain't a dream. Somehow I must wish it was. All right. So let's keep reading. Let's see what happens. Do they go and do they find that treasure? What's going to happen? Miguel, you were the first one to ask to read. You are up. Go ahead and read 19 to 26. Read this whole section of dialogue here, Miguel.
29 to, wait, 20.
Paragraphs 29 through 19 to 26, sorry.
Okay. Tom will never find him. A feller don't have only one chance for such a pile, and that's one's lost. I'd feel mighty shaky if I was to see him anyway. So'd I, but I'd like to see him anyway and track him out to his number 2. Number 2, yes, that's it. I've been thinking about that, but I can't make nothing out of it. What do you reckon it is?
I'm going to pause you there for a second, Miguel. I'm going to pause you there. So who is this person that they're talking about? Who are they trying to find?
This guy, the thief that's disguised as a Spaniard.
They're trying to find the Spaniard, right? They're trying to find the Spaniard. Are they going to find him? They don't know. And then what is this reference to the number 2? Do you guys remember that from yesterday?
Yeah, it was some sort of place.
Yeah, they think it might be where they're hiding the treasure, right? All right. Sorry, Miguel. Go ahead.
Okay. I don't know. It's too deep. Say, Huck, maybe it's the number of a house. Goody. No, Tom, that ain't it. If it is, it ain't in this one-horse town. They ain't no numbers here. Well, that's so. Let me think a minute. Here, it's the number of a room and a tavern, you know. Oh, that's the trick. They ain't only two taverns. We can find out quick. You stay here, Huck, till I come.
All right. So again, we'll never find him. So they're looking for someone. Where are they going to look? Well, they're trying to figure out what this number 2 is. What is this number 2 that they're talking about? I kind of like the part where they said, oh, maybe it's the number of a house, right? Do your houses have numbers on them?
Yes.
Yeah, I know my house has a number on it. Yeah. But then Huck says, no, Tom, that's not it. In this town, in this one-horse town, that means it's a really small town, our one-horse town, the houses don't have numbers on them. Doesn't that seem weird? How would you find somebody's house if it doesn't have a number on it? But their numbers don't have houses on them. And then he says, oh, maybe it's the number of a room in a tavern, okay? And oh, that's it. There's only 2 taverns in town. We're going to find this out quick. So Tom and Huck are they're looking for 2 things. They're looking for the Spaniard and what this number 2 is. Yeah, those are the 2 things that they're trying to figure out. And just a quick comment, like I have my chat open so I can see when you guys are asking to read. I need you to just ask to read if you want to read. I'm not going to go through and say, oh, well, you asked for this specific paragraph, so I'll give you this one, okay? I just go in order of when people ask to read, okay? So I apologize. I can't give you a specific paragraph to read, okay? Let me come back up here. Looks like Morgan is our next reader.
Tom was off at once. He did not care to have Huck's company in public places. He was gone half an hour. He found that in the best tavern, number 2, had long been occupied by a young lawyer and was still so occupied. In the less ostentatious house, number 2 was a mystery. The tavern keeper's
hang on a second. Hang on, Morgan. All right. So that's kind of interesting. Tom doesn't like to be with Huck in public places. I wonder why. So remember, we're getting excerpts from the story. Like, I thought Tom and Huck were pretty good friends. I wonder why he doesn't want to be with him in public. I found that a little bit interesting. But Tom takes off. Only a half hour to find that tavern with the number 2. And the place was occupied by a young lawyer. So a young lawyer was living in it and working out of it. And he was still there. And so now they're trying to figure out what this mystery is. Go ahead, Morgan, keep going.
The tavern keeper's young son said it was kept locked all the time, and he never saw anybody go into it or come out of it except at night. He did not know any particular reason for this state of things, had some little curiosity, but it was rather feeble, had made the most of the mystery by entertaining himself with the idea that the room was haunted, had noticed that there was a light in there that night before.
All right. Someone other than Morgan want to kind of summarize these 2 paragraphs? Maybe share what you think we could highlight?
I think we should highlight the part that in the first tavern it was occupied by someone else.
Okay. So number 2 had been long occupied by a young lawyer. So that's who's got that room. What else?
And the second one was a mystery. And then how the tavern keeper's son said that it was locked all the time. And nobody went in or out except at night.
Yeah, it's locked all the time and nobody goes into it or out of it except at night. That kind of makes it a little interesting, like what's going on in there? It's a mystery, okay?
And the light in there, that there was light in there the night before.
There was a light in there the night before. So something was happening in there the night before, okay? And they're saying it's haunted, right? H-A-N-T-E-D is that dialect that we talked about before, referring to it as being haunted. So Tom found number 2, didn't he? Tom found number 2. And what else can we say about it? He didn't just find it, but what else should we say about it?
He doesn't know who's in there.
It was a mystery in there.
Good. Well, he does know that the young lawyer occupies it, but yes, he found number 2. And
there was something suspicious going on.
Oh, I like suspicious. I was going to use mysterious. Right? Number 2 is kind of mysterious. Jackson, you'll have the next paragraph when you're ready.
Okay. That's what I found out, Huck. I reckon that's the very number 2 we're after. I reckon it is, Tom. Now what you going to do? Let me think. Tom threw out a long time. Then he said, I'll tell you, the back door of the number 2 is the door that comes out that little close alley between the tavern and the old rattle trap of a brick store. Now you get hold of all the door keys you can find, and I'll nip all
I'll nip all of Auntie's.
aunties, and the first dark night we'll go there and try 'em. And mind you keep a lookout, because he said he was going to drop into town and spy around once more for a chance to get his revenge. If you see him, you just follow him, and if he don't go to that number 2, it ain't the place.
Good, good. Lots more going on here, okay? Does somebody other than Jackson, who just read it, want to kind of summarize for us and tell us what you think the important parts are?
That they're gonna try and get all the keys and spot, like, look around to, like, follow him and see if he goes to the number 2.
Yep. So he's telling Huck, hey, Huck, you go find all the keys that you can find, because the door's locked. So they're going to just go grab a bunch of random keys and try and find the key that's going to open this door to number 2, okay? So Huck, you go get all the keys you have. I'll nip all of Auntie's. Nip. What do you think nip means in this, in the context here? What is nip?
To take.
Take them,
Yeah,
like,
I'm gonna go get all of the keys from Auntie. And then the first dark night, we're gonna try and get in there. Jaslyn also mentioned, just follow him. If you see him, just follow him. Okay, so what's that about?
they're trying to see if he goes to number 2, and if he doesn't, then that isn't the place. And
Who's
like
he? When you say he, who is he?
the thief, which is disguised as a Spaniard.
Yes, yes. So I'm going to say that Tom and Huck are collecting keys, right? Because they're going to try and unlock that door. So they're collecting all the keys they can find. They're collecting keys and keeping an eye out for, we're going to keep calling him the Spaniard. To see if he goes to number 2. Jasmine, you'll be my next reader after you finish copying this down. Or writing in your own notes.
Lordy, I don't want to follow him by myself. Why, it'll be night, sure. He mightn't ever see you, and if he did, maybe he'd never think anything. Well, if it's pretty dark, I reckon I'll track him. I dunno, I'll try. Or do I read until 39?
Yeah, you keep going.
Okay. You bet I'll follow him if it's dark, Huck. Why, he might have found out he couldn't get his revenge and be going right after that money. It's so, Tom, it's so. I'll follow him, I will. By jingoes. Now you're talking. Don't you ever weaken, Huck, and I will.
All right. So someone other than Jaslyn, what's going on in these paragraphs? If you're not sure, you can go back through and reread them on your own.
Huck doesn't. He doesn't want to follow the whatever he is because it's gonna be dark and he's not sure.
Who doesn't want to follow him?
Huck.
Huck.
Yeah, he's kind of scared to follow him, right? Huck's kind of scared. So what does Tom tell him?
He was like, don't ever weaken Huck and I won't. He's trying to like get him to feel better about following him.
He's trying to pump Huck up.
Yeah, he said, you know, it's going to be dark. It'll be night. It'll be dark. He's not going to know you're following him. Okay.
He's trying to convince Huck.
Yep. And then don't you ever weaken, Huck, and I won't. So Tom, well, go ahead. What do you guys think? What's our summary for this? Someone other than Jaslyn, because Jaslyn just read it.
Huck is scared, but Tom tells him it'll be okay.
I love it. Yeah, Huck is scared, but Tom tells him it'll be okay. Tom's trying to convince him to be brave, right? But yes, Huck is scared. Whoop. So Tom is telling him, whoops, it will be okay. Awesome. All right, we're going to take a look at our slides for today. They are very, 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 very similar to the slides that we did yesterday because we are working on the same type of skills that we worked on yesterday. Oh, please don't leave me, okay? It's not time to leave. You need to stay online with me. So let me bring up my slides here. As usual, it'll take a little moment for them to load. There's my day 1 slides. I'm on to day 2. Day 2. So we're gonna, oh, look at that, nip. We already kind of talked about that word, didn't we? But in paragraph 33, you're gonna need to put down what does the word nip mean, and then you need to use that text evidence to support it. So give me a definition. And then again, you need to have something that says along the lines of the text says, and then what the text says that helps you to know what that word nip really means, okay? We're looking for another example of dialect and why they're using that dialect. How does the illustration on page 26 and 27 help with the story? Okay, that's the one with the dark tavern. And then yesterday you told me one way that Tom and Huck are alike. I want to know another way that Tom and Huck are alike in the story. Okay, so again, we're going to be doing some small groups. If you're not sure what group you're in, I need you to ask me, okay, guys? I can't read your minds, and just not showing up to the groups is not okay. So if you're not sure what group you're in fact, let me move this over here, and I'm going to put it up on the screen. Oh, so that way you'll know what color you are in case you forgot. And maybe write it in the front of your planner to help you remember, okay? But in our planners, let me move this over to this side. There we go. We should be able to see all of that now. We are going to do benchmark. You guys can see my planner, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Week 3, day 2, and we are doing slide number 2, 3, 4. Slide number 4 is the slide you're doing from your benchmark, okay? We're probably going to take our benchmark test tomorrow because I'm going to push math test to Friday, and I don't want you to have both of those tests on the same day. So make sure you're getting through your slides, okay? And I would be okay if you also wanted to do, let's see, 4, 5, 6, let's say slide 4 and 7 today. 7 is just that one with the definitions. Okay, 7 is the definitions slides. I do want to meet with Teal. You're going to stay on now. So if you're part of the Teal group, you're going to stay now. And my purple group, I'm going to try my purple pen, but it was dying yesterday. Purple, oh, there it goes. Let me toss that. Purple, you are going to come back, let's see, let's say 11:15. Okay, Purple, you're coming back on at 11:15. Everybody can continue working on your Greek and Latin roots, right? Those were being tested on Friday, so you can always work on those slides and make sure that you are studying those, Greek and Latin roots, 26 to 30. If you didn't get your 30 minutes of iReady reading or 15 minutes of iReady math done yet, you can work on those. Or there's always Freckle or the other optional assignments for you. We do have lunch at 12 and you are back at 1, okay? Don't leave, like I said, that Teal group, you guys are gonna be hanging on. Everybody else can log off. Purple, you're coming back to me at 11:15. You guys should see right now what group you're in. Spencer, your hand is up.
Yeah, I was just wondering if, I was wondering if the lunch Zoom is going to be open today.
Not today. Remember, that's Tuesday, Thursday we do lunch.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Camden, I see your hand is up.
Bye.
Do we have to do 7 or is it optional?
Do you have to do what?
Do we have to do slide 7 or is it optional?
No, you need to do slide 7 today.
Okay. Bye.
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 Bye. All right. So if you're not Gabby, Angelina, Ashlyn, Alex, Amaya, Anthony, Neil, or Avery, you should be logging off, please. Yeah, I think I got one person.
Bye.
Bye. Oh. Emily, are you still on? Emily, you're logging off now, right? Thank you, Emily. You're my producer, always